got Sean Farnham, and you take a look at what Farnham's Final Four looks like. We'll have him break down brackets for us a little bit later, but he has the 1 seed Gonzaga, like everybody, coming out of the West, the 1 seed Illinois in the Midwest, and he sees those two meeting in the championship with Mark Few and the Zags winning it all. But as I bring Farnham into the conversation, Sean, as I say, in our next hour, you'll break down the brackets. But I think a lot of people will watch this tournament looking for the top NBA draft prospects. Who are the guys who are going to be coming into the league next year? So you've put together the top 5 draft prospects in this year's tournament. Sean, take it away.
Yeah, look, I think for so many fans that aren't dialed into college basketball all year long, and some of the NBA fans that watch this show, they're going, okay, who should I be looking for? Well, at number 5, I go with Moses Moody out of Arkansas. I think when you look at Moses Moody, he is your typical 3-and-D guy. He was the freshman of the year inside the SEC. Watch how he gets his feet set. He's catch and shoot, NBA range. He can stretch you all the way to the outside. But what I really love most about his game is actually his defense. He can really impact the game at the defensive end of the floor, and this is where he has grown the most underneath Eric Musselman, a former NBA coach. Look how disruptive he is. Look how he pressures the ball, creates turnover opportunities, does not allow his opponent to get by him. He did a great job initiating the defense all season long for Arkansas, but in particular in the last couple of weeks, I like his translation over to the NBA. When you look at the number 4, let's go Scotty Barnes out of Florida State. This is another Leonard Hamilton player that doesn't start. The second year in a row that he will have a player that for a majority of the season didn't start games. He has 7 starts on the year out of 21 games that he played, but he was the 6th man of the year in the ACC and the freshman of the year in the ACC. He's got great length. He's 6'9". He can get on the glass. He can rebound, but he has point guard-like skill and feel. He is going to be a top 5 pick in the NBA draft. This was the game winner against Indiana. He's a tremendous talent and a reason for why people should get excited about the Seminoles' chances in the NCCA tournament. Next up on my list, let's go to the quarterback, Jalen Suggs. Yeah, I said quarterback. Why? He had an offer from Ohio State to be their quarterback. Just put that away for yourself, because this is a pass that any quarterback can drop on a dime, full court off the rebound. Are you kidding me with his ability to see the floor and deliver that pass on time, on target? It's why Gonzaga is so elite. And then you put in his playmaking skills. Absolutely phenomenal. Late game takeover ability. We saw it in the West Coast Conference tournament. He is going to be an all-star one day in the NBA. Mark it down. I said it. Jalen Suggs is the reason why I think Gonzaga is going to win the national championship. And we go to number 2. Let's go to Evan Mobley. He is the reigning freshman of the year, defensive player of the year, and player of the year of the Conference of Champions, as Bill Walton would love to say. Evan Mobley's got incredible length. He has the ability to pick and pop, hit the mid-range jump shot. You watch his footwork, outstanding footwork, played for a great club with the Compton Magic, and has just excelled this season underneath Andy Enfeld. But he also can protect the rim. Look at that. You cannot get to the glass on him because he's 6th in the nation in block shots, averaging 3 per game. He's been a big part of the USC Trojans' defense this entire season. But of course, if we're talking about the number 1 pro prospect to look at in college basketball, it is clearly Cade Cunningham. What a season he has had. He has led the Big 12 in scoring. How about this? He's the first ever Oklahoma State basketball player to be named AP First Team All-America. He is phenomenal with his ability to split, reach, on-ball screen coverages, and he just makes winning plays in winning moments. He's got unlimited range. You see him so comfortably step into that shot. And oh, by the way, he's 6'8" doing all of this screening. There's a lot to like about this freshman class in particular, but there's a lot to like about Cade Cunningham and his prospects at the next level.
He looks like the number 1 pick in next year's draft. Farnham, outstanding list. And again, you'll break down brackets with us coming up a little bit later here, but we take another look at it. The presumptive number 1 pick is Cade Cunningham of Oklahoma State, and he is number 1 on Sean's list. And you should be playing along with us. The ESPN Tournament Challenge, the Women's Tournament Challenge at ESPN.com. You can fill out the men's bracket for a chance to win a $10,000 Amazon gift card and a trip for 2 to this year's Maui Invitational in Hawaii. Fill out the women's bracket for a chance to win $10,000 in Amazon gift cards. Go to ESPN.com/bracket for the men and the women, ESPN.com/TC women. All right, let's get up and go. LeBron James is joining Fenway Sports Group as a partner. That gives him an ownership stake in its subsidiaries, which include the Boston Red Sox, the Liverpool Football Club, Roush Fenway Racing, and the regional sports network NESN. This, according to sources telling ESPN. So LeBron getting very much into ownership, which could be a signal of some of his future plans. Elsewhere, in a statement on Twitter, Tiger Woods says he has returned to his home in South Florida as he continues to recover from very serious leg injuries that he suffered in that crash in Southern California on February 23rd. Released a statement thanking the doctors and saying he's home and working on getting better. And then back to March Madness. Sister Jean is back. Loyola
Wanted him out there to help Justin Herbert. And that's because he's the rock. He's the centerpiece. Whenever we get Jeff Saturday back on here, whenever he comes out of, hiding wherever he is down there in Georgia, ask him how important centers are. I'm sure he'll tell you. I'm sure he could go on for hours about it.
Whether we want him to or not. Yes, I agree with you on that. But Troy,
Exactly.
Let me come over to you then on that situation here, because, the team that beat them is Tampa Bay, and all we're talking about is how they're bringing everybody back, and we got guys up here talking about them going unbeaten, and I'm Aaron Rodgers, and I'm watching this, and I'm saying, what the heck is going on with me? How do you see it all, Torrey Smith?
I mean, Lewis is right. The center is the quarterback of the offensive line, but the reality of it is it's a lot easier to replace someone on the interior offensive line than it is to replace your tackles on the outside. You see all of these DNs making all of this money? The big guys on the outside are the guys that have to block them. However, for this team, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, you knew that you can't keep everyone. That's the price of being great. When you're a team that's winning and your salary cap looks a certain way, sometimes you can't retain everyone. And clearly they knew he was going to walk. I believe that they have a plan, or they trust that there's a guy that they can get in free agency moving forward. But for Aaron Rodgers' perspective, you can't count on keeping everyone each and every year. And they didn't lose in the NFC Championship game because of protection on the interior side of the ball. There were more issues going on. So this is something that they should be able to overcome.
I get it, but at the same time, I mean, look, we talk about how you're going to lose players because you were great, and they've been very good. But this is sort of the Packers' way. They keep not winning it all and then losing players. Dan, I know we have this argument all the time here. I get that they've won 26 regular season games the last 2 years, but they haven't been in the game that really matters, and now they're losing pieces because you can't keep a championship team together. The only thing they're missing is the championship in that equation.
Yeah, it's just, you just can't add a piece and instantly get a championship, right? I mean, the Packers have played in more postseason games and won more postseason games than anybody but the Patriots this century. Like, it's the best you can do is give yourself a chance. I think Tom Brady has kind of wrecked it for the rest of the world, assuming that the only way it's a success is if you win a championship. Packers are a team that constantly puts themselves in that position, and yes, has come through just the one time during Aaron Rodgers' career. But look, Aaron Rodgers and Corey Linsley are certainly close, and I'm sure Aaron Rodgers knew that Corey Linsley was going to go find money in free agency, and that the Packers probably weren't going to be the team that gave it to him. This is not some out-of-the-blue shocker for Aaron Rodgers or the Packers.
I think if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm cranky right now, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to leave it there for the moment. We'll have much more on the NFL as we go, but we promise you tournament marathon coverage, and here we go. We got Sean Farnham, and you take a look at what Farnham's Final Four looks like. We'll have him break down